الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان الشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم والشجر يسجدان والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان ألا تطغوا طغيان في الميزان وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط ولا تخسروا الميزان ولا تخسروا لا تطغوا. Khusran is to less and don't go above. That's the balance. And that's what's keeping this universe in order, the balance. So as human beings being the Khalifa, Allah sent us on this earth, for what? To keep the balance, to keep this universe straight, to be the conductor, the driver. The universe goes. When there are those who are trying to upset the order, it is human beings' right to bring the order back. That's a big responsibility for the human being. That's what Khilafah is about. That's why Adam ﷺ was sent here to keep the universe in balance. But that, you have to have that within yourself first. The human being himself has to be well balanced within yourself before you can lead the world. So that's when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala announced that to the angels, I'm going to send a Khalifa. The angels were very worried. When they sent a Khalifa to take care of, to be in charge. قالوا وتجعل فيها من يفسد فيها ويسفك الدماء. Oh Allah, are you going to send someone who is going to shed blood and spread mischief and corruption? Somebody who cannot maintain the balance. And there'll be anarchy and chaos. And when there's anarchy and chaos, there's bloodshed. There's corruption. So Allah taught Adam all the names. All the names. I mean all the names. Not only names of Allah subhanahu, but names of everything. And everything is created in pairs. That's part of balance, because balance is always about two sides. وَمِن كُلِّ شَيْءٍ خَلَقْنَا زَوْجَيْنِ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَذَكَّرُونَ. Of everything we created in two, in pairs. Everything. Why? لَعَلَّكُمْ تَذَكَّرُونَ. That you may remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everything is created in two. In كل شيء. The only thing that is one is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But everything in creation has a pair. In كل شيء. خلقنا زوجين لعلكم تذكرون. سبحان الذي خلق الأزواج كلها. Oh, glory be unto the one who created all pairs. All pairs. أزواج كلها. مما تنبت الأرض. From plants. So every plant has a pair. In the vegetation world, every animal has a pair. Every human being also has a pair. من كل شيء. And within you, a human being, you have pairs. You have your soul and your spirit. There has to be a balance between, that's what pair is about. Keep a balance between every pair. Your soul and your spirit, your ruh and your nafs has to be balanced so that you can live in harmony. But in that balance between the soul and the spirit. Where the soul has a right, the spirit has a right. You have to balance their rights. One has to lead the other. One has to be the leader, one has to follow. And if you, the one that's supposed to lead, if you put him second, and the one that's supposed to follow, you put him first, then you have some type of chaos, some type of disbalance will happen. So this is the problem that most human beings are struggling with. They can't bring balance within their own life. They can't bring some type of a harmony between their ruh and their nafs. If you want to just have an idea of how the ruh and the nafs, how they relate to each other, just think about the sun and the moon. The ruh is like the sun, as bright as the sun. The nafs is like the moon. Exactly. That's the analogy. So even though the moon, the spirit is greater and higher and brighter than the soul, yet the spirit must not overtake the soul. But the soul also must not try to lead the spirit. Now this is where the balance comes in. So لا الشمس ينبغي لها أن تدرك القمر ولا الليل سابق النهار. The sun must not overtake the moon. So the spirit must not overtake the soul. But the soul also must not lead the spirit. They both should be within their proper sphere, their proper proportions. However, the spirit by nature does not eat, does not sleep, has no need at all of these worldly matters. But the soul needs to rest, the soul needs to be sustained, everything. So now you have these two partners working together. If the spirit has its way, then the soul will die, because the spirit will just keep going. No rest, no food, no water, the soul will die. So we have to tell. So now God plays some type of a judge between them, between the spirit and the soul. There is somebody in the middle between them. And that one is called the heart, al-qalb. So the heart is like a peacemaker between these two parts of yourself. Because you, this is all of you. You are a soul, a spirit, a heart, a body, and all the intellects. So the heart is in the middle, al-qalb. The most important instrument in your body is the heart. It's what that balances everything. If your heart is sound, that's why the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, ألا إن في الجسد مضغة إذا صلحت صلح الجسد كله وإذا فسدت فسد الجسد كله ألا وهي القلب. There's a piece of flesh in your body. If it is sound, all of you is sound. If it is sick, all of you is sick, and that's your heart. If your heart is sound, all of you is sound. If your heart is sick, all of you are sick. That's why Islam has placed a special emphasis on the heart, al-qalb, more than any other religion before. In Islam, the entire focus is al-qalb, on the heart. That's the center and the core of your being. Work on your heart. So the heart is the middle, is in the middle between all these parts. Your soul is here, your ruh is here, your spirit is here. So when the spirit is going at a very fast pace, the heart will say, no, this is too much, slow down. Because this soul has to catch up. So the heart makes a judgment between them. But if the soul is going too slow too, it says to the soul, no, this is too slow. So you have to increase your speed so that it becomes a balanced pace. So the soul and the spirit become, there's a harmony between them. When there's a harmony between them, they start to work together. The soul and the spirit become united. When they are united, when they become one, there's a harmony between them. Then the spirit who has knowledge, as opposed to the soul, the spirit will willingly now share his knowledge with the soul. That's why when you sleep, your spirit leaves you. Allah يتوفى الأنفس حين موتها والتي لم تمت في منامها فيمسك الذي قضى عليها الموت ويرسل الأخرى إلى أجل مسمى. So Allah will take your soul when you die. If not when you die, when you sleep. So at these two times, your spirit leaves you and goes. It becomes free. It goes everywhere. In the malakut, in the mulk. Sometimes your roh will go all the way to the throne of God. It goes in the past, it goes in the future. I'm talking about the ruh. In this journey that it does, while your body and your soul are sleeping, the spirit is traveling and exploring the universe. And it collects information as it goes. It sees things, it hears things, it knows things. And then, at the time of waking up, it comes back. It's a very wonderful way God has created that if only we reflect about ourselves. This is something about you, a human being. That's what happens. You have two entities within you. When you sleep, when you close out to the outer dimension. You have two dimensions, inner dimension, outer dimension. Now you are aware of the outer dimension and close to the inner dimension. When you sleep, then you close up to the outer dimension, this outer wall, and then you open up to the inner dimension. So that happens when you sleep. Then the ruh goes into the inner dimension. So it travels around, and collects information, as I said earlier, and comes back with this information to you. So when the ruh comes back, you wake up. You wake up. I mean that you wake up to the outer reality. In reality, you don't sleep completely. You sleep with outer reality and wake up with inner reality. You sleep with the inner reality and wake up with outer reality. So either way, so you are between waking and sleeping here. Sometimes inwardly, sometimes outwardly. So the information that your ruh brings to you is what we call dreams. You dream. The dreams are something that is the traveling spirit has heard or seen or comprehended. And sometimes these informations are very sensitive, as you know. Sometimes your spirit will see some harm coming to you is going to happen to you. And the spirit will quickly come back into the body and wake you up and warn you. While the spirit is out of your body, it still keeps in touch with the body. So there's some type of wireless connection between the spirit and your soul in your body. Even though it can be millions of miles away from your body, it's still in touch. There's a connection. You have millions of souls that are traveling in, and yet each one of them is connected to the body it had left. That is amazing. The system of God. On the day of judgment as well, when people are resurrected, when the trumpet is blown, again, every spirit goes back to the body it had left in this world. And there's no mistake. No spirit ends up in the wrong body. It's not possible. That's the infinite wisdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when you dream, that's what happens. You say, you woke up, I dreamt. You can dream about things that happened in the past, or you may dream about things that are coming in the future. Either way. It depends which way your soul travel. But those information can be very important to you. If you remember the story of Sayyidina Yusuf, and the dream of the Pharaoh. Pharaoh dreamt about 7 cows that were lean and 7 cows that were fat, and the lean cows are feeding on the fat cows. And then he saw 7 corns that are dry and 7 corns that are green. It's a dream. It's a dream about future, something that is not yet happened. So understanding dreams is very important. It can save people's lives. It can save the whole nation. It is God speaking to you. God is warning you. If you are able to interpret the dream correctly. So Sayyidina Yusuf said to interpret his dream, saying that there will be 7 years of coming, of abundance. That will rain, lots of crops, a lot of wealth, followed by 7 years of hardship. There will be no rain, there will be drought, no crops. So therefore, he's telling them, make sure that in the first 7 years, all the crops that you harvest, don't consume all of them. Consume a little bit and save up most of it. So that when the hard years come along, whatever you saved up in the years of ease, you can consume it in the years of hardship. A dream can change the very fate of the people. If Sayyidina Yusuf did not interpret that dream correctly, what happens? There will be famine in Egypt and the neighboring countries, and people by hundreds or by thousands will die because of shortage of food. So, our life, whether we are sleeping or we are waking, is a learning process. You don't stop learning when you sleep. Because when you sleep, inwardly you become active. Your ruh now is active. When you wake up, outwardly you become active because your soul now is more active. But in any case, you are always learning. There's always the process of. You are always in the process of acquiring knowledge, inwardly or outwardly. But for your dreams to be very clear, for you to have clarity in terms of learning, whether waking or sleeping, it requires that your heart, like we said earlier, your heart is in the right place. Your heart is not is not out of balance. You had a sound. Yesterday I recorded the hadith of Rasulullah saying that my eyes sleep, but my heart does not sleep. تنام عيني ولا ينام قلبي. It's the heart that is awake, that doesn't sleep. The heart of most of the people sleep, unless when they are sleeping actually. When they are physically sleeping, that's when the heart wakes up. When they wake up outwardly, the heart goes to sleep. So this is the principle of wisdom that God created this whole universe in pairs. In pairs means what? In balance. Because the pair is two things that are working in tandem, working in unison. So ومن كل شيء خلقنا زوجين, of everything we created in pairs لعلكم تذكرون, that you may remember Allah. والسماء بنيناها بأيد وإنا لموسعون. We also created the heaven with strength, and we are expanding. We continue to expand the universe and keep everything in balance. Sometimes when our world is out of balance, then we have signs of that. One of that is eclipses. When there's an eclipse, it means that there's some type of disbalance in the universe. And that disbalance could be due to the actions of human beings. So to speak, that human beings' actions can impact the way the entire universe runs. Why? Because human beings are at the center of the universe. And that's why we call Khalifa. In the time of the Prophet ﷺ, inshallah, that will be the last thing I'll talk about, there was a solar eclipse. And when that happened, he called for a prayer. They call eclipse prayer. Salatu al-Kusuf. When it's lunar eclipse, they call Salatu al-Khusuf. So after prayer was done, the eclipse prayer, alhamdulillah, by then, the sun and the moon had separated, they are clear. They have all gone back to their respective spheres. He made a khutbah. He said that in the Shams wal Qamar ayatan min ayatillah. The sun and the moon are among the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that eclipse is going to happen because somebody is dead or somebody is born. It's a sign of Allah. It's a warning from Allah that human beings, you are going off the track. Come back online. If you see فَصَلُّوا وَكَبِّرُوا وَتَصَدَّقُوا, pray, give charity, and say takbir, Allahu Akbar. And remember Allah, give charity, and pray. If you do that, then the order comes back. And then he added, إِنَّ اللَّهَ أَغْيَرُ أَن تَزْنِي عَبْدُهُ أَوْ تَزْنِي أَمَتُهُ. That God does dislike that his female servant or male servant commit adultery. Adultery is one of the human actions that impact the order and the harmony in our greater universe. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.